Hello traders, welcome back to this video. It is a Wednesday and as always we do analysis, a top-down analysis, and I give you guys an update on some few pairs and what I think of those pairs. So before I do a top-down analysis, there is a trade on NAS 100 I took today, and I want you guys to learn something, and this is how you get trades in a let's say maybe in a trend. So if you want to catch a trend that is going on currently, this is what you do. So when I opened my charts on NAS 100, I started the analysis from the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame I saw that currently the price was reacting from this order block. You can see the buying pressure on the daily time frame, and you can see this candle that was formed. There was a fair value gap that was left behind. So this fair value gap give me an idea of what was going to happen. So in this fair value gap, you can see after the market formed this fair value gap, there was no any candle closure to the upside, showing that the momentum will be continuing without filling in this fair value gap. So instead, the market came back down, had a pullback to the downside, tapped into the fair value gap, and you can see the reaction. This is a bullish candle on the daily time frame. So today I was having a bullish bias, and that is what exactly I was looking forward to in the market. So after that, after knowing that I have a bias of bull buying a bullish bias, I dropped into the 4 hour time frame. In the 4 hour time frame, currently you cannot see any fair value gap that was left behind. And currently, the only fair value gap that was left behind is this one. The market came back down, reacting from the fair value gap, and then pushed a little bit higher. And later on, there was a pullback. So what I did, I came into the lower time frame. So we will drop to the 1 hour time frame and see if we can see any order block that is valid that we can take trade from. So the fair value gap from the daily is this one. You can see this is the fair value gap that I marked on the daily time frame. And the market came into that fair value gap, reacted from the fair value gap, and then went back upward. So having in mind that I'm looking for buys, inside here there is no any order block that is valid, but this one here was an order block, but I did not prefer taking a trade from up here, or marking the order block as it is from the, let's say maybe the whole order block. The order block will be very big. So what I did, I came to the 15 minutes time frame, which I like trading because 15 minutes time frame gives me a very clear structure and what the market is doing. So on the 15 minutes time frame, here is where I got a very good order block, an order block with the fair value gap. And on this side here, you cannot see any order block. So the only order block that is valid and has a fair value gap is this one. So I marked this order block because the order block, the origin of the order block swept this liquidity before going up to break structure. And you can see this form of liquidity. This low went up to sweep this highs liquidity, and later on, the market came back down to sweep the lows liquidity before going up to break structure. So this is a valid break of structure. And after that break of structure, you can see the market left behind this order block with a fair value gap. So I found this order block, and I knew that on the, let's say maybe, I knew that during the New York session, I knew the market would come back down, tap into this area, and we have a reaction. So this was at the New York at the start of New York session, and we had the tap into the price tapping into the order block before this reaction. So you can see that clearly we have an inducement here, and the inducement is here. Let me show you. So the inducement is here. This is the inducement. This is a correct pullback. This one is not a correct pullback according to me. And that is my decision because uh, due to some, let's say maybe the experience I have had in the market, I cannot take this as a pullback. But a correct pullback for me is such as this one here. You can see that this candle here, this candle, the middle candle here, swept this highs liquidity, and then you can see this the third candle coming back down to sweep this lows liquidity. So this is a pullback. This is a pullback, a candle pullback, and that is a valid pullback, a valid candle pullback. So this is an inducement, but not this one here. But generally, you can see that the trade had everything that I wanted to see. There is a sweep of liquidity on the origin of the order block, and then the order block has a fair value gap. And then after the order block, just above it, we have the inducement. And that is how I got this trade. I also shared the trade in the group. So in case anyone took the trade, and that is very nice of you. And I don't give a signal, I just give overviews. And if you see the overview is very good, you can take a trade from my overviews. So the take profit was at this order block because this order block swept this highs liquidity before going down to break structure. So I expected the market to react from this order block because it is a valid order block. And you can see clearly price tapped into the order block, and you can see it was currently struggling to continue pushing higher. So it reacted a little bit. Let me delete this. So the price reacted from the order block a little bit before going up to clear the high because now the buyers came in from this order block to push the market to break structure. So, but instead, the market has only swept liquidity, and we will wait to see what the market will be doing. So, I think you can learn something out of this trading setup, and that is how you can make something out of nothing. So, if you try to look for a good setup, and let's say maybe you have a bias, your daily bias after doing a top down analysis, you just have to drop into the lower time frame so that you can look for those valid order blocks with an origin that has swept liquidity, or there is an inducement uh, just above or below the order block. So I think it's generally what I have been teaching you guys, and that is a very good trade to be taking. So I have the analysis, I have some updates. So I will start with gold. Let's go to the analysis. So on gold, let's see what gold has for us. So on the daily, I noticed that gold is trying to cover all the fair value gaps that it is leaving behind. And we had our analysis, we had the change of characters, the change of character, and I told you guys that we should be looking for buys on gold. So the importance of my analysis every Sundays and Wednesdays is to give you a clear bias for the week. And on Wednesdays, I give you updates on how the market will be behaving. So, in this scenario, when I told you that we have the change of character, I expect you guys to be looking for buying opportunities. So that it doesn't mean that if I mark a zone down here, you should be waiting for that. I expect you to be looking for trades in a bias that, let's say, maybe I've given a bias to you, and you see the bias is making sense to you. You try to look for trades in that direction. So in this case here, I see that gold is trying to fill all the fair value gaps being left behind. And currently, you can see that gold came back after this engulfing candle, we have this pullback. There was no any fair value gap left behind. And then we have this push to the upside. There was a fair value gap being left in between this candle. You can see this candle in between here and this candle. So, and price had to come back because number one, if this candle could have closed above this high, that means the buying momentum would have gone higher before coming back to fill the fair value gap. But this candle did not close above this the high of this candle. So it meant that gold uh, was going to have the pullback into this area. And you can see that gold pulled back to fill the fair value gap and tapped into this daily order block before going higher. So, and then today, the same thing happened. There was this candle that formed. There was a fair value gap in between this candle, and there is no any fair value gap being formed yet. But there was this gap being left behind, and I expected gold to come back tap into this order block before looking for any buying opportunity because I gave a bias that we should be looking for buys on gold. So inside this order block, I was expecting some buying pressure, and you can see that when price came into this order block, you can see the reaction to the upside. So going to the lower time frame, we are going to look for a good order block that I think gold reacted from. So on the 4-hour time frame, there is no any valid order block being left behind. That was left behind. So let's drop to the 4-hour time frame so that we can try to look for that one order block that was valid and very good. So I expected gold to come back to tap into this area, but clearly gold did not come into this area. I expected uh, price to pull back, sweep this low as liquidity, and then tap into the order block. And since this order block is very big, I have to wait for my confirmation so that I minimize the stop loss that I am going to use. But gold did not come into this area, and I think it is because when you come into the 15 minutes time frame, you can see that this is a pullback, an inducement, and in this scenario, we had an order block on the 30 minutes time frame that is very valid. And this order block, you can see that this order block is just above this inducement. And this inducement, according to me, I couldn't take any trade from this order block because for me this is not a very good inducement due to some rules that I have when identifying pullbacks. So on the 15 minutes time frame, you can see this is a pullback, but on the 30 minutes time frame, this is not a pullback, and also on the 1 hour time frame, this is not a pullback. So I did not expect any buying momentum from this 30 minutes order block, but you can see that price reacted from it. But that is not the problem. That is, if I miss a trade, it is just fine. I try to stick to my rules, and my rules are my rules are my rules guide me in every trade I take. So, in this scenario, I could not take any trade from this order block because I took this pullback as an invalid inducement. So, but all in all, the analysis that I did is very clear. And if you took any trade from this area, that is very nice of you. And I think gold currently we have the break of structure. Uh, and after this break of structure, let us try to look for a good area that gold can come back into. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on gold, I think we will still have a pullback. I see a 4-hour order block. Let me use this to mark the 4-hour order block. So this is the 4-hour order block that I think gold has to come back down, react from this order block, and then go to the upside because we are looking for buys on gold. So in case of anything, in case the market changes its direction, I think I will notify you guys, or I will have an update on Sunday. So make sure you are here, subscribe, like, share, and then turn on the notification bell so that you cannot miss any of this kind of information. So I expect gold to clear this highs liquidity. That's why I'm still looking to buy gold, and I think if we have a good pullback into this area, we will be looking for buys to the upside. So on 1 hour time frame, you can see that this is the 4-hour order block from the high of this range to this low, and me having this is a very big order block. But now what I will be doing is waiting for a good confirmation so that I can have an entry to the upside. And my entry in this scenario, having this big order block, I should wait for a confirmation. So in case you have a very big zone, that is when you look for confirmations. But if you have a small area or a small order block, and you have all the confluences intact, it is advisable to be using orders. Let's say maybe the buy limits or the sell limits. So in this case here, I will like to refine my order block. So let me delete this line. So I'll refine my order block. This order block, the 15 minutes order block. This order block here. This is the only 15 minutes order block that is valid. And in this case, because there is no any inducement being formed above the order block, and the origin of the order block did not sweep any liquidity on this side, I will be looking for a confirmation. So in case you mark an order block that has no has not qualified for, let's say maybe the order block does not have all the confluences that you need to enter a trade, you should always wait for a confirmation. But if the order block has all the confirmation and the confluences, and your analysis is correct, I advise you to be using buy limits or sell limits so that you cannot miss any trade. So I think if gold gives us a correct, let's say maybe a pullback, and then we see a buying pressure to the upside, we will be creating an inducement. So let's say maybe this is a pullback being created, and then we have a push to sweep this highs liquidity. That will be a good inducement, a major inducement. So I will expect gold to form an inducement first before going back to this area to look for buys. So on gold, I think I'll be looking for buys. Let's say maybe if price comes back into this area, so I'll be looking for buys. But in case gold does not come back to this level or pull back, or have a pullback to this level, I'll be looking for a continuation the upside. So in short, on gold, try to look for buys and see if we can have good trades from gold. So that is for gold. Let me go to, I have a good analysis on GBP USD. I think GBP USD, I have an update for you guys. So from the previous video on Sunday, I marked this as my change of character, and I told you guys that we will always wait for the reaction on what the market will be doing. So expect the market to push back higher, to come, let's say maybe from this area to this high, and we will be waiting for a reaction from either of these levels. Let's say maybe this order block. The order block is from the 4-hour time frame. And I think I expect a very good reaction from that area. And currently, we have the reaction from this order block. Price is reacting from this area. This is the area where price has reacted from. You can see, let me delete this so that I can be very clear. So price came into this area, reacted from the order block, and in this case, the order block cannot be a very good order block according to my strategy that I teach you guys, and because it is because this order block has no any, let's say maybe any liquidity above it or any inducement above it, but in some scenarios such kind of order blocks work. But for me, I cannot take any trade from this order block unless I have a confirmation. And because of that, I have a good confirmation that the market did. And this is the confirmation. We have this pullback, we have the sweep of this low, and then the market came back to sweep this highs liquidity before going back down to break structure. So this is a valid break of structure to the downside. So we have this as our valid break of structure. So after having that valid break of structure, uh, we have the price tapping into that order block, and then we have the buying pressure. You can see the buying momentum is different from the selling momentum. The selling momentum is in a corrective manner. So you can see that there is presence of buyers. So what I expect the market to do, here we have the change of character, a clear change of character. And now I expect price to be pushing higher into this area, let's say maybe up here before going back down. So what I expect from GBP USD, let me mark that change of character. So what I expect from GBPSD, we have the reaction from this area, and I think the change of character is clear. So I'm looking for buys to this, let's say maybe to this order block, and I expect after the change of character, if we have a pullback into this area, we will be looking for buys from down here to the upside, and that is if the price will come back to a 50% level so that we can be looking for a good, let's say maybe a good area, a good zone that we can trade from, or a good order block. So I expect price to drop back down into 50% area. Look for a good order block inside here before going to buy the upside. So I expect, let's say maybe let me try to look for a good order block. This is the 50% area, the discount level. So let me delete this. But in case price does not come into the, let's say maybe price does not pull back down here, and instead price, let's say maybe price goes back higher, this setup will be invalid because price would have already come into the areas that we expect some selling pressure. So in case the price comes back higher before going back down, we will be having this setup invalidated. But if price reacts from any level in between here before going higher, that means let's say maybe the price pulls back into this area, that is when we will be looking for opportunity. But if this high is being cleared, we will not look for any opportunity to the upside. So I'll always be here to update you. So I think that is very clear. So on the 4-hour time frame, there is this order block. So I want us to mark this order block, and then we will refine our order block to the lower time frame. So this is the order block on the 4-hour time frame, a very good order block that has this fair value gap. And in case price gives us a pullback, fill in this fair value gap before going higher, it will be a very good opportunity to be taking a buy trade to the upside. So let's refine into the lower time frame and see the zone. So this is the area. So let's go to the 15 minutes time frame and let's try to see what we can have from this setup. So I think clearly here we don't have any good order block. Let me go to the 30 minutes time frame. This order block has already been mitigated by this pullback. And on the 15 minutes time frame, if we don't have any good order block, we'll instead use the order flow. On the 15 minutes time frame, this is the last push to the downside. And I think that is why the daily gives us the 4-hour time frame gives us that order block. I think that is the area that we'll be looking for a change of character, because this order block is too big, and I don't expect you to be placing orders above here and put the stop loss down here, because the stop loss will be too big. I see there is an order block here. Let's say maybe we will be waiting at this point. There is this order block that is unmitigated. This order block is unmitigated. So I'll be expecting, let's say maybe some selling pressure to this low, and then we will be looking for buys to the upside. But currently, price has not formed any good inducement for us, but we will see what the market will be giving us. So instead of having an order being placed down here, we'll wait for a good confirmation before we take any trade to the upside. So the stop loss should be down here when we get a good confirmation, and we will be targeting this high. So if you are patient enough, and you will be trading with the, let's say maybe a break even, you will be trading this high. But currently, let's just be patient and wait to see if we get a pullback into the 15% level before looking for buys to the upside. So I think that is very clear on GBP USD. We will be looking for a good pullback and then a good confirmation, so that we can catch the trade the upside. So that is on GBP USD. On USD JPY, I think I have an update also. Yeah, I think. But before that, I have another update on Euro JPY. And I sent this setup on Euro JPY, an overview. And I told you guys this is that kind of a trade that is very risky, and it is good to wait for a confirmation. Currently here you can see I marked this order block, but I told you guys that this is a very risky trade, because the origin of this break of structure did not sweep any inducement on this side, and that means this low can be used as an inducement. So you can see that price came back, tapped in here, tried to react a little bit, and then you can see clearly the low of the order block was taken out. So you can see how it is important to have all influences aligning with your setup. So if you mark an order block, just make sure the origin of that order block swept liquidity or an inducement before going higher. So instead, let's say maybe for example, in this scenario, the order block has an inducement. This is an inducement, a pullback, an internal structure, and we have the break of structure. But this break of structure is not a valid break of structure because inside here there was no any liquidity or inducement that was taken out with this low before going higher. So, and I think that is very, very clear. So, I have an update on USDJPY, and then I will have let's say maybe I'll try to look for a very good area so that we can look for trade setups from. So on the daily time frame, currently we have this. The market is currently choppy on the on the daily time frame. But on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that clearly price came back into the area that we wanted, and we see the reaction. Currently, price is building something inside here. We have the structure, and I expect USDJPY to be buying to the upside. But we will see how the market reacts. And most of the time, you find that USDJPY trades, let's say maybe moves opposite to how gold moves. Most of the time, you find that when gold is buying, USDJPY is selling. So I will be waiting for a very good reaction, and I always react with how the market reacts. So currently, we have this low sweeping this inducement before this break of structure. You can see the break of structure. So this pullback here, it is an aggressive pullback, and currently we have this inducement. After the break of structure, you can see this is the first major inducement, and clearly we see the price has already taken out the inducement. So I expect to be looking for buys from this level. This is the strong low that we have currently. That is the strong low. And inside here, I don't see any valid order block, a clear order block. And on the 30 minutes time frame, also, I don't see any valid order block. So we'll drop to the 15 minutes time frame. On the 15 minutes time frame, I see this area as the order block. But in order to take any trade from this order block, you need to have a confirmation. You cannot take any trade from this order block blindly because the order block is from an internal structure that was formed in between the low, the strong low, and the weak high. So guys might decide to do anything inside here so long as we have this high as the weak external high that is expected to be taken out, and the strong low. So price can decide to do anything inside here before going higher. So don't try to take any trade from this order block unless you have a concrete or a good confirmation. So I think that is very clear. And if you will be taking a trade aggressively from this area, your stop loss will be very big because you will be putting your stop loss down here. That is why I'm telling you guys that you should wait for a confirmation before taking a trade from this low to the upside. So the confirmation will be just to reduce the stop loss level. So I think that is very clear on GBP/USD. I expect some buying pressure to the upside, and looking for buys from this low to the upside. That means gold will be selling, and we will just try to look for a good confirmation before having any trade. So if we will be looking for buys from this area, that means we'll be having a confusion on gold, and that's why I'm telling you guys that just react with how the market will be doing. So I think that is all for today. I have given you a very clear bias on gold and on GBPUSD and also on USD So that is it for today. Let me try to see if I can do an analysis on the Euro USD. I don't like trading Euro USD personally because I prefer more volatile pairs because sometimes I like those pairs that move very fast uh, into my take profit. So on GBP, on Euro USD, I don't think personally I can analyze it, but I will be analyzing it when I start my live trading sessions. So, and currently on Euro USD, we can see that price went up to clear this highs liquidity, and clearing this highs liquidity, price later came back down to clear the low liquidity because there was no any liquidity inside here to be cleared, and that means this low had to be cleared as liquidity. So after the price cleared this liquidity, you can see the reaction to the upside. And because there was no any candle close below this level, that means price will have to sweep another liquidity, let's say maybe from inside here before going down. And that means this high will be taken out as the liquidity before price, let's say maybe the price before the price goes back down. So I expect this high to be taken out. You see this high, I expect this high to be taken out before we look for sales to the downside. So and on the 1 hour time frame, this is like a very good break of structure because we have this trend line liquidity being cleared out, this trend line liquidity that was cleared out by this high. So and I think this high is very strong. So and looking for a good order block, I see this order block as a valid order block. This is a good order block. So and me marking this order block, that means you have to wait for a good confirmation before you take any trade from that order block to the downside. So price clearing this liquidity, that means another liquidity must be taken inside this range before going back down. So and if we don't have any confirmation, don't take any trade from that level kindly. So let me try to refine so that we can see if we have another good order block. I think that is it. Yeah, that is what I can see on Euro USD. Euro USD is not that clear like GBP USD. So I'll be expecting some buying to the upside before the reaction to the downside. And on GBP USD and Euro USD, the move will be similar. So I think that is the bias that I have on both pairs. So thank you guys for being here. Try to use these buyers to your own advantage and always be here on Sundays and Wednesdays to catch up with the top down analysis. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss on any updates.